Hello, and welcome to Rath's SmartCare Nurse Call Station Solution Installation Animation. The SmartCare solution was designed to be simple, both for the end user and the installing contractor. This animation follows a strict order of operations determined by the manufacturer. If followed, it will increase efficiency and eliminate any surprises. Our goal is for our customers to have a positive experience with our system, and this starts with the installation. Chapter 1. Organizing your product. Being organized is paramount to a smooth and successful installation. Prepare your workspace with all boxes and your control log. Locate and separate all smart dome lights, smart zone lights, staff, and duty stations. Working with the control log, peel the yellow label from the outside of each smart device box. Place the label in the smart device barcode column. Write the description in the designated column, adjacent to the yellow label for the device. The description is typically the area where the device will be installed. Room 1, for example. Write the same description on the outside of the smart device box. Once all smart devices have been logged and given a unique description, gather put-up boxes for each room in the facility. Write the location on the exterior of each put-up box. Reference your facility's blueprint or room layout to determine which switch stations associate with each smart device. Gather the needed switch stations and put them in the appropriate put-up box. Label them with the correct room description. Mark the control log with the switch stations associated with each smart device. This keeps a running inventory checklist during installation. Finally, separate and label your nurse consoles and host controller. Chapter 2. Pre-Configurator Software. With the control log completed and the equipment and put-up boxes, we are now ready to load the initial information into the host controller using the Pre-Configurator. These steps can be completed at your office using a laptop and our SmartCare Pre-Configurator software. Your laptop will require a Windows 7 or later operating system, Mozilla Firefox or Google Chrome, at least 2 GB of RAM, and a 100 MB per second Ethernet interface card. Locate the host controller and apply power using the provided power cable. Use a network cable to connect your laptop's NIC to the Ethernet port of the host controller. Navigate to your system's local area connection properties by clicking Menu, Control Panel, Network and Internet, Network and Sharing Center. Right-click on the Change Adapter Settings, Local Area Connection, and then Properties. Under Local Area Connection Properties, double-click on the Internet Protocol version 4 TCP/IPv4. Choose Use the following IP address. Change the IP address of the NIC to 192.168.8.111 with a subnet mask of 255.255.255.0. Once finished, click OK. Locate the Rath USB jump drive included with the host controller and plug it into an available USB port on your laptop. Once recognized, open the folder to view the files. Locate the folder named Rath Nurse Call and double-click to open it. Locate the folder named Pre-Configurator and double-click to open it. Double-click on the application file named Pre-Config, a square icon with a capital P. This is the software used to load the information into the host controller. Connect a scanner to an available USB port, locate your control log, and scan each barcode or manually enter the ID. The information should appear in the top box of the Pre-Configurator. Manually type in the unique description for the smart device as written on the control log. Select the smart device type from the pull-down menu. Click Next Board to load the information into a temporary cache. Continue these steps until you have gone through your control log completely and every device is entered. All smart devices must be loaded into the cache before finalizing the programming. Once the final device ID and description have been entered and Next Board is selected, the screen will have no information in the ID or description boxes. Press the Save button to load the temporary cache information into the host controller. A successful load will result in a configuration sent message. Scanning in all smart device IDs and giving them unique identifiers in the pre-configurator allows the host controller to recognize each device when installed in the field. The smart devices talk back to the host controller through the smart loop wiring and then allow for the specific programming actions. The equipment is now ready to be installed at the customer site. Chapter 3: System Wiring. This chapter demonstrates smart loop wiring and how to connect the SmartCare system components. The components shown in this example are the host controller and power supply, nurse console, remote sounder or system fault indicator, smart dome light, and switch stations. This illustration shows the layout of a small facility. The location of each component has been marked on the site with plain colored dots identified in the key. Interconnection of the system's components is done using Rath's Smart Loop Power technology. A smart loop consists of a connection from a communication port on the host controller to all smart devices. A nurse console, expansion board, or up to 45 smart devices can make up a single smart loop. Smart loops can be up to 1,000 feet in length. When creating smart loop connections, Cat5 or higher rated 24-gauge wire is pulled from location to location to allow for connection of all smart devices. Connections in this illustration show host controller to nurse console, host controller to remote sounder or system fault indicator. This animation demonstrates a 6-room smart loop. The smart loop is completed in room 6 with the termination plug. In-room switch stations are wired to their assigned smart device using the same type of wire and connectors. Switch station connections are not to exceed 80 feet in length. Up to 6 switch stations can be connected to one smart dome light. Here is a wiring diagram depicting a completed smart loop and in-room wiring. We will now zoom into an example of a smart dome light. This is the beginning of the smart loop. The yellow wire is pulled for future switch station connections. To begin, label the blue smart loop wire with a from and to designator. Be sure that the yellow wire is labeled as well. Cut the blue wire, leaving some slack. When all wiring is pulled and properly marked, we are ready for terminations. Strip all wires and use the T568B pinout configuration. Terminate using a standard RJ45 connector. Follow these same steps at each switch station located at the smart dome light and each switch station located in the room. One of the most important aspects of creating a smart loop and switch station connection is testing. Using an 8-conductor LAN tester, ensure all wires pass a continuity test. Connect the smart dome light's blue cable from room 1 to room 2 using the tester. This will require 2 people. Then test each yellow wire. Once all the wiring has been verified, connect cables to their assigned locations on the smart dome light and secure with the mounting screws provided. Next, make these same connections at each switch station to finalize their installation. Remember, once you've reached the final room location, you will have to install a termination plug in the COM out port on the last smart device in the loop. Next, remove the included termination plugs from the COM ports on the host controller and make the smart loop connections. You will also make the connection for the remote sounder or system fault indicator, which plugs into the fault output on the host controller. Your nurse console can be connected at this time as well. You are now ready for a preliminary test to make sure that the system's default settings are operating properly. When the pull string station is activated, the call-placed LED will illuminate on the station, and the center LED on the smart dome light will medium flash red. Every room location can be tested at this time, but further programming is needed for the nurse console and any other notification device on the system. Once a switch station is deactivated, all of the lights in the tone should shut off. Chapter 4: Configurator Software. Now that the SmartCare system has been installed in the facility, we can complete the configuration programming. Like the pre-configurator, your laptop will require a Windows 7 or later operating system, Mozilla Firefox, or Google Chrome, at least 2 GB of RAM, and a 10100 MB per second Ethernet interface card. Locate the host controller and apply power using the provided power cable. Use a network cable to connect your laptop's NIC to the Ethernet port of the host controller. Locate the Rath USB jump drive and plug it into your laptop's USB port. Open the Rath Nurse Call folder. Next, locate and right-click on the Configurator program and select Open. When open, the configurator will allow for programming of specific actions related to each connected switch station, as well as the date, time, and check-in perimeters. On the left side of the configurator, the control items that were loaded in the pre-configurator are displayed. These items should match your control log. The control item highlighted in blue is the one that is selected. Switch stations 1 through 6 are the stations connected to the control item being programmed. The switch type will correspond to the detected station for that switch port. The Switch Priority tab uses default programming for each switch station type, but can be changed. The lower the number, the higher the priority. Call priority is used when 2 calls in the same room come in, so that the highest priority call will take over. The paging system also uses the priority levels to determine whether or not to send out a page. There are up to 20 switch actions that can be programmed for each switch station. Default actions are preset to activate the LED on the switch station plate and the LED on the smart device to which the switch station is connected. Programmed switch station actions are shown in green. Available actions are shown in red. The programmable items for the selected switch actions are on the right. The State tab refers to what the switch station is doing to activate the system. A bedside station, for example, could have a normal call, or a call cord could be unplugged, which is a higher priority. The Control tab selects which item is going to be affected by the switch action. Nurse station, for example. The Type tab gives you the choice to turn on an LED on the smart device or the LED on the switch station connected to the device. When LED is selected, the Color tab appears. There are 6 different color options. The Blink tab is for programming the flash rate of the selected LED. None is a solid-on light with slow, medium, and fast flash rates. The ID tab allows you to select which particular LED light you want to turn on. If SW station is selected, use the switch port that the switch is connected to as your ID number. If activating an LED on a dome light, you would select 1 for top and 2 or 3 for bottom LED. Nurse stations will allow for the number of LEDs to be selected in accordance with the size of nurse console installed. System date and time, daylight savings, and check-in perimeters, if applicable, need to be programmed in their appropriate locations at the bottom of the window. Let's walk through an example. Room 1 has a pull string station attached to port 1. As you can see, there are 2 default actions already programmed. Action 1 is to turn on the pull string plate's LED. Action 2 is for the smart dome light's LED in room 1. To illuminate an LED on the nurse console to correspond to the pull string stations in room 1, we will select Switch Action 3. The state will be Call. Control is Nurse Station. Type is LED. ID is 1. Color is red to match the default. Blink is medium, again to match the default. In order to save the action, you must click the next sequential number, 4, in this example. The previous numbers will turn green to verify that the action has been saved. Now, when activated, The LED will light on the pull string station in Room 1, on the Smart Dome light, and at LED 1 on the nurse console. This process is repeated for all switch stations which have a desired action beyond the defaults. Once all switch stations have been programmed, you need to save your work. Click the X in the top right corner of the window. Click Yes in the pop-up followed by the X in the top right corner. Close the configurator. This will save the programming to the SD card in the host controller. We hope you now have a better understanding of Rath's SmartCare solution and the steps it takes to install and program the system. Remember, this is only a brief overview of what is required for installation. Rath requires every installating contractor to complete our detailed installation training before installing a system in the field. It is paramount that our system is installed by only certified installers to ensure it will operate properly.